If you are curious about real estate and if it can really get you to financial freedom quickly, then stick around because that's what today's video is all about. I am Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and I achieved financial freedom at age 38, mainly through real estate and a little bit in stock market investing. So hit that like button and the subscribe button, and we are going to dive right in. First, let's quickly define what financial freedom is. So financial freedom to me means that you can live the lifestyle you desire without having to worry about working for money or rely on someone else for money. Basically, you have enough passive income coming in to provide for your expenses. All right, the first thing we need to figure out is how much money we're actually going to need. And in today's video, we are just going to use the average median household income, which is $68,703. This would equate to $5,725.25 per month. In order to figure out our financial freedom number, we're going to take that $68,703, our annual expenses, and multiply that by the number 25. And if you are curious why we are multiplying our annual expenses by the number 25, I have another video about that, so I will leave a link above and below in the description, and you can check that out. Our financial freedom number would be $1,717,575. That's the amount that we want to have invested in order to become financially free. But since we are using real estate to become financially free, we are basically going to increase our passive income amount through our real estate investments rather than invest all of that money into the stock market and start making withdrawals from the stock market investments. Because with real estate, you can make that a passive income investment. You could get a property manager to manage all of your properties for you and have it be pretty much passive. Or you can take the route that I have taken and actually manage the properties yourself, and that way you have a little bit more income coming in rather than paying a property manager to handle all of your properties. But it's entirely up to you. All right, let's talk about how this is actually possible. How can we invest in real estate to become financially free? And within about 6 years. I'm going to share with you an applicable example, and this is related to how I was able to become financially free. So we're going to break down the numbers of investing in real estate, and I'm going to say that we're investing in real estate in Utah because that's the market that I'm familiar with. Of course, this can happen anywhere, and honestly, if you are living in a high-cost living area, then you may want to consider moving to a lower cost area or investing in real estate out of state, somewhere where it's not quite as expensive. It all depends on how quickly you want to become financially free. Okay, so let's dive into the meat. I pulled out my Utah real estate app, which is on my phone, which I look at quite often, even though I'm not really ready to buy another property just yet, but I like to keep my eye on the market. I found a home for sale, which is selling for $324,900. It's a 4-bedroom house in a pretty good location. So let's say we wanted to invest in this particular property. A lot of people think you need to have 20% down in order to purchase a property, but that's not the case. You can actually have just 3% down and move into a property. So that's what we're going to do in this example. We are just going to have a 3% down payment and move into the property. Let's break down the numbers. If we are purchasing a property for $324,900, then 3% of that is going to be $9,747. That's the amount we are going to need to save up in order to purchase this property. And how exactly are we going to do that? Well, let's talk about it. If you know that you want to buy a property, then you're going to want to cut down on your expenses. Let's say you are living in a place by yourself and it is $1,000 a month. And since you know you want to invest in real estate, you decide to move to a different place where you have roommates, and now you are paying half that amount. So you're actually only paying $500 in rent, which means you have an extra $500 each month to put toward a down payment. And if that's all you wanted to do, just take that $500 and put it in savings until you have the down payment amount. It would take you about 1 year and 7 months to save up that amount, which isn't super bad, but we want to move faster than that. So you think, okay, how else can I increase my income? Well, I could get a side hustle. An easy side hustle would be working for Uber or Lyft. So let's say that you do that and you bring in just $150 a month extra. So if you take your $500 plus that $150, which would be $650, and you start saving for the down payment each month, then in about 1 year and 3 months, you would have your down payments saved up, which is getting better than the 1 year and 7 months, but it's still not quite good enough for you. You decide, okay, let's take a look at my expenses. Where can I save some money on my expenses? Well, let's say you have a phone bill and the average phone bill is $114 per month. And you think, okay, I know I can do better than that. So you go on Verizon's website and you see that they have a plan. If you have 4 people on your plan, you can each pay $35 a month. So you find 4 of your friends who also want to save money and you get a plan together. And you realize there's going to be taxes. So let's say it comes out to $40 a month. That's an extra $74 that you are now saving toward your down payment on your house per month. But you're not done. You have a car payment and you think, you know what? I don't need this high of a car payment. The average car payment is $554. So let's say that is what you're paying for your current car payment. But you go looking for another car that is less expensive, but still reliable and still a really good car. You're able to sell your previous car, get a new car, and now your new car loan per month is $200. Now you have an extra $354 per month to put toward your down payment. With all of that extra money that you are now making and saving, you can now have your down payment in about 9 months. Which is really, really good. It's under a year. But you're not done. You want it even sooner. So you take a look at your food budget. How much are you actually spending on eating out? Well, the average person spends about $232 per month just on eating out. So you think, okay, I can do better than that. Let's reduce that and only spend $100 per month, which leaves you $132 to put toward your down payment each month. This would get you to your full down payment amount in about 8 months, which is really good, but we want it to be just a little bit better. When you were moving into your smaller place, you thought, okay, actually, I don't need all of this furniture that I have now, and I don't need all of this stuff that I have now. You had some couches and a table and chairs, which your roommates already have now. So you decide to sell a bunch of stuff, and that gives you an extra $2,000. So if you take that extra $2,000 and then all of the extra amounts that we are doing each month, that is going to get you to your down payment within about 6 months. And if you are running these numbers yourself, think about what other expenses you could reduce. Is there insurance that you could reduce, or maybe some subscriptions that you could get rid of? Think about other expenses that you have every month that you could put toward a down payment on a house and see if you could get there even quicker than 6 months. We now have our down payment amount of $9,747. And let's say our closing costs are about $6,500. And since we don't have any extra cash, we are actually going to roll those closing costs into our mortgage loan. So that would put our loan at $331,400. And interest rates are really, really low right now. So 2.5 is what Wells Fargo is showing on their website. But let's say we get an interest rate for 2.75%. We do it at a 30-year mortgage. We would have our property taxes, which would be about $1,500 per year, plus our home insurance, which would be about $500 per year. This is going to put our monthly mortgage payment, with all of these costs included, at $1,613. And since you know you want to become financially free as quickly as possible through real estate, you are going to house hack and get 3 roommates, since it is a 4-bedroom home. And let's just say you have each of those roommates paying $550 per month. That's going to give you $1,650 per month just from rental income. So you're actually now making a profit of $37. And since you are now a real estate investor, you are going to live here for 1 year and then move into another place and repeat this process over and over. So by reducing our expenses and increasing our income, we had $1,210 per month, plus the $37 extra that we are making from our roommates. And if we save all of that money in another year, we are going to have $14,964, which means we can actually purchase another property. So that's what we decide to do, and we rent out the room that we are currently living in, and it's the master bedroom, so we get to rent it for even more. We're going to rent it at $650 per month. That means you would have $650 since you're renting out your room now, plus that $37 from before, from your 3 roommates before. And that gives you $687 per month in passive income. If you were to run a similar scenario for 8 years, do this 8 different times, then you would become financially free within about 8 years. But since you've really been analyzing your expenses and you were able to reduce them, you start to think, okay, well, maybe I don't need the average salary that people are making, that $68,703. I could probably live on about $42,000 a year, which would be $3,500 per month. If you only need $3,500 per month, then you could repeat this process 5 times and have enough money to become financially free. And if we add on that first year and the 6 months that it took to save up for the down payment, then in about 6 years, we would become financially free. And of course, this is just an example with rough numbers, and real estate prices will rise and drop over time, so will interest rates, and so will your income, and so will rent prices. So I get that there are a lot of variables, but I wanted to give you a really good example on how this is possible, because if you really focus on your priorities, and if that is becoming financially free through real estate, then you can see where you can adjust your expenses and where you can build up your income to save up for a down payment of just 3%. And then you can house hack once you buy your first property, and then repeat and repeat and repeat. And you get better and better as you go along. And that's how I was able to do it. I bought my first property and I got roommates in there. And my second property was just strictly a rental property. But then I purchased another one, which I ended up moving into and left my old roommates at my previous property. And then I ended up buying another property. But as I went along, I got better and better at investing in real estate, and rent prices have continued to increase constantly over time. So even if I had a higher interest rate on a mortgage loan, the numbers just kind of worked out. So this is definitely possible if it's something that you want to do, if you want to become financially free through real estate. And I do have a video that I created about my entire real estate investment portfolio, so I will leave a link to that above and below, and you can check that out if you want more details about how I was able to build my real estate portfolio. Comment below and tell me if you are going to become financially free through real estate. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.